Wow. Wow. Okay, so tonight's game, it was, we consider all of these games must-win situations. We had done a great job of handling Georgia State within our series. I believe we were 5-0 up until this game against them. And we did rather well. And we won a big game against them on the road. So you would think coming home, it would be prime for the picking for us to really put on a great show in front of a great crowd that came out. I'm ready for this team to turn the corner, but tonight it just seemed like we couldn't keep anyone in front of us. Our one-on-one defensive efforts, it was lackluster. It didn't have the pop or the tenacity that I'm accustomed to us playing with. And it makes me really have to look at things and measure it differently to see what really is the issue. Is it the amount of minutes that people are playing? Is it our focus in the most critical moments? Is fatigue a factor for our mindset and our emotions when we're in the pivotal moments of the game? I don't know. But to see that we had 31 points from second chance points, they had one, but they had 30 points in the paint to our 20, with us having 20 offensive rebounds, it's just unnerving to me to see these types of numbers and we still lose the game. We have to figure something out in terms of our defensive front and the holes that were presented tonight, because their guards got busy and they had a field day of attacking the rim and really getting straight line drives for layups.
What did you hear about from the rest of the, or what did you see on the Sloan technical?
He said that she intentionally elbowed the player. I don't know if that took place or not. I really don't know. Sometimes things happen where she could have the ball and she's coming down when someone's coming in. It could be inadvertent. It seems like when it's against us, it's inadvertent. But when it's us being the ones that potentially could have done it, then it's intentional. I'm not going to, say that things are swayed, but there's some things that goes on in the course of the game that make me question merit and morals sometimes when it comes from that end. But I know the officials have a hard job. They do a good job for the most part, but sometimes it's individuals that do things that make me wonder, like, why? Why was it so slow? Why was it so late and delayed? What are you looking at in this moment? But that's a moot point. We had plenty of opportunities to control the game and to win it. We were down 11 or 12, and we cut it down to 6, and then we ended up tying the game with 2 minutes left. That was our moment to really take over the game and run away with it. But errors.
You're right there late. It looks like you have them trapped in the corner.
Yeah.
2-on-1, trying to wrap up their guard.
Mhm.
No call. They get it past half court
Yeah.
finally. Probably lost 10, 15 seconds.
Easily, and we're clearly trying to foul, and I even think she double dribbled in the process, and these things were missed, and it's frustrating when it happens, but humans are officiating the game, so human error can come into play, and it's based off of their judgment. So missed opportunity, valuable seconds off the clock. They ended up getting the foul across half court. What can we do? What can we do?
Coach, you went on an 11-1 run, I think it was, when they hit the free throw.
Yeah.
It was a massive run. I think you were down 11, and then you came back to tie it.
Mm-hmm.
And then Simone comes in with that technical, and I think it just cut the momentum.
It really did. It really did. And I was really debating in that moment, okay, do I just burn a timeout? Well, actually, when we had got a rebound and it was a scramble, I yelled timeout, and the ref looked at me, and then I saw Samara Fields kind of gather herself, and she got the ball back to the top. And I'm like, okay, I'll let us live with it, because EB has the ball in her hands. Something good is going to happen. But nothing came out of it, and it was a downward spiral from that moment.
You were tied with them late in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And they scored 6 points, and then they scored 5 more.
Yeah.
What happened during that stretch?
I think fatigue, possibly, or I just think lack of focus, because they were getting it in transition. If one person, we're supposed to build walls all over the court, in transition defense and in the half court. If one person goes and gambles and you don't win on that gamble, then now you have exposed an area within our walls that's weakened, and with the way that their guards love to penetrate, number 30, Crystal Henderson, she had a field day just weaving through, looking like we were human cones out there. And she was just weaving and winding through us to get to that right-hand side of the court for layups. So that's really what happened. The penetrations killed us.
Were you happy with your shot selection?
At what point? In the entire game?
Yeah, 33%, not great.
Yeah, not great, but if there's anything I'm disappointed in is the 28 attempts from the 3-point line. 28 attempts. That's a lot. When we have 63 to 47, so we almost have 20 more attempts than our opponent. Could we have gotten better looks within those 28 threes that we put up tonight? Possibly. I think that we could get the ball inside more, but when we do put it inside, are they making good, strong moves to either get fouls or put the ball in the basket? A lot of things are of question right now, and sometimes we have to take those shots because we're under duress. Maybe the ball went in, nothing happened, and they kick it back out, and now the clock is shortened, and so we have to put a shot up, and it ends up being a 3. But 33%, yeah, it could be better, but I believe in my team. I believe in my team, and I believe in our abilities, and we can win games even when we shoot poorly. It all came down to the defensive end tonight.
You have JMU coming in Saturday, obviously.
Yes.
A win against them, what would that do for your team?
A win against them would mean everything, but then at the same time, it's still just one win. Obviously, they're the number 1 team in the Sun Belt Conference. They're still undefeated if they won tonight.
They did.
They're 8-0 at this point, 8-0 or 9-0?
10-0.
10-0 at this point. So we can't sit here and lick our wounds too long. We have to get back to the drawing board because that's a game you get up for. If you don't get up for any of them, you get up for that one. You have a number 1 team coming through here, and they're looking to continue that streak. I would love for us to be the ones that end the streak for them. You know, give them their first loss, and I think that can really settle us and let us know exactly who we are as a team.
What do you expect to see on Saturday? It's a good time slot. There's not much competition like with the NFL playoffs or anything like that. What do you want to see? What do you expect to see crowd-wise and intensity-wise?
I expect to see what we saw tonight plus another 1,000. You know, the fans have been doing an excellent job of coming in. It may not be by the droves, but you can clearly see and hear the difference that they're making game by game by game. As this team is growing and we're maneuvering through the season, so is our fan support. And that's something that cannot go unnoticed, and I definitely appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing them fill Chartway Arena on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Come at 1 if you want.
Aside from
Coach.
just gameplay itself tonight, I think there was a lot of ways that the team expressed themselves on the court, showing their respect for you and each other. Talk a little bit about what that means, you know, coming off of a loss. What does that mean going into a game like Saturday with the respect that they have for you and each other?
Yeah, so one thing we build this entire program off of is relationships. It's not transactional at all. We look to be transformational. And if you really want to have that type of impact, you have to have relationship. So I pride myself on making myself available at all times of the night and day for my players. When you do that off the court, then you're able to communicate at a high and even intense rate in the game, without it being taken personal, and they can understand that the same way I allow them to be human beings and show all their true colors, they'll allow me to do the same thing as well as my coaching staff. And now that's what you see out there on the playing field, where I can say, Brenda, where are you supposed to be? And, you know, instead of breaking down in tears or just giving up and quitting, they find it within themselves to take the information and yes, ma'am, me, and then have a seat, process, and try again to apply it the next time. So that's what you see.
Coach, I know you can't speak for the men's team, but you can speak on the basketball program as a whole.
Yes.
Versus JMU, the last 13 games were 0-13. Coming Saturday, what has to change to flip this?
For the men?
on its head? Both.
Oh, for both? Well, I think both teams are going to have to put forth a tremendous effort on the defensive end. When you're playing against James Madison, for us, they're undefeated in our conference. They are number 1, and they're a team that kind of have a presence about them. you can't make mistakes against teams that are that good. They're reinforced in every area. They have great leadership. They're very disciplined. So we can't be the first ones to flinch or fold. You have to make sure you box out every time because they're going to crash every time. You got to make sure that you get back in transition defense because they're going to run every single time. And you have to make sure that your half-court processes are on point on the defensive end because if not, they're going to move the ball well. They play well together as a veteran team that has come up together, or even with the added pieces that they have, they're going to look and find each other. So you have to be a vault when it comes to your poker face and your ability to not give them an inch. And if you can do that, then you could come out with a great win.
Coach, we're now in the second half of conference play, basically the home stretch,
Mm-hmm.
so to speak. What do you want to see out of your team in these last couple of games heading into Pensacola?
I would love to see us really find our truest identity and we peak at the right moment. Think about it, you all. It's still 10 new players that have entered into this program. And that's 10 different ideals from what they were taught from wherever they came from. And we're fighting the good fight every single day to get them further away from those habits and closer to them just embodying everything that we discuss and coach and teach on a daily basis here. And we have found some dips here and there within the season in terms of how many are on board and how many may have regressed. And it's an intricate dance that we are within, but we're still figuring it out. And every loss, while it's disappointing, it still reveals the things that need to be revealed. You want to find all your weaknesses now so that you can ready yourself for when the moment really is the biggest. Every team gets to go to the tournament. We would love to be in that top two because all you need is 2 wins. But if we're in that middle of the pack, then maybe we need 4 or 5 wins in order to get to the promised land. But we still have an opportunity. So with that in front of us, there's no reason to doubt. Even if we were to fall flat and not win another game in the regular season, we still have a chance. And if we continue to grow and keep the faith and stay together, we could be the ones to peak. And we can be the ones to go on a run and go streaking in the right moment, in the right way, when it matters the most.
I want to ask a couple of questions on the off the subject.
Okay.
Halftime, they honored the 235 Dean's List students here, which is pretty amazing.
That is.
Can you talk about the academic support staff here and what
Yes.
they do for your athletes?
No doubt. Our academic support staff, they're second to none. When you see the dedication that they have, they stay after hours. They give our student athletes a winning advantage in the classroom. When it comes to the resources that we provide, when it comes to the time and attention that is given, they get an A+. You know, they are summa cum laude when it comes to how they perform for our student athletes. And our student athletes recognize that. And when you can help someone that's trying to help themselves, then you get those type of staggering numbers amongst your athletic department from your student athletes' performance in the classroom.
One other question on the tournament itself. If you finish last, you have to win 7 games in 7 days.
Mhm.
If you finish first, 2 games in 2 days.
Yes.
What do you think about that format?
If I'm one of the bottom teams, then I'm happy that we have a chance. Because they could say, hey, we're only going to cap this out at the top 8, and everyone else see you next year. But if there's a chance to be given, then there's a chance to take, you know. And if the road is you got to win 7 games in 7 games, then so be it. But we would love to be able to finish amongst the top to lessen, to strengthen the opportunity of us winning and having a chance to go dancing.
That is obviously done so that the 2 top teams get an advantage.
Exactly.
Did you vote for it? Or?
I voted for it because I knew what I had. I knew, you know, if we're playing poker, I peek at my cards. Everyone doesn't know what my team looks like. They may know who we signed, but they don't really know how it looks because I had an opportunity to see that and hear that and feel that. So when I made that decision to vote, I said I'm betting on us. I'm betting on us having an opportunity to get one of those coveted 1 or 2 spots so we can have that opportunity to do that. And even if we fall short, I still believe in who I am as a coach and what we do because we've proven that we can go there and win 3 games in a row. You know, 4 games in a row my first year in COVID, you know, and made it to the semifinals, lost by 2 points to Rice, who eventually ended up winning it. And we only had 6 players, you know, so we have what it takes. It's just give us the chance.
You think it's a smart idea for the conference to want to try and get its 2 best teams or 4 best teams into the tournament?
I get it, I understand it, but really, I feel like the major push that should be had is for us not to be a 1-bid conference. We should be a 2-bid conference, hands down. We have great talent within this conference. We have great legendary coaches within this talent. And we have teams that have proven we can go out and compete with Power Fours and beat them. We've done that. You look at all the teams in the Sun Belt Conference, people have gotten great wins against Power Fours. But those same Power Fours would have lackluster records, but they get the bid because they're in the right conference. Well, show the mid-major and the high mid-major ranks the love that they deserve when you have conferences that are as strong as ours and give us 2 bids. And now we're talking different, you know? Because now we get 2 bids and then the 3rd place team ends up winning, then maybe we get 3 in there. I don't know, but I think that's the true conversation that should be had.
Anything else for Coach?
One last question,
Yeah.
if I could. Jeff Jones is being inducted to the
Yeah.
American U Hall of Fame on Saturday. What has he done to help you in his new role at ODU?
Jeff is a kind spirit, and he's a guy that will be there when you need him. He's always sending text messages of encouragement or either congratulations on whether we've done a job well done, or even after a loss, you know, hang in there, keep your head up. It's always nice when you have an individual like him who's legendary in this game, from his time spent at American U to here, you know, he's a winner. He's a winner, and his resume speaks volumes from player to coach in terms of who he is and his impact that he's had on the game. I think we are rather fortunate to be able to have someone like him to use as a sounding board for a coach. Mike Jones is a young head coach, you know, in this thing. I'm a little bit more seasoned now as a head coach, but still young. I haven't even reached 10 years as a head coach yet. So to be able to lean on him and to really just see what sticks and pick his brain, that's always a powerful asset to have. And congratulations to him for entering into the Hall of Fame. And I would be amiss if I didn't mention Kieran Donahue, because he also was his right-hand man, you know, for many, many years, there and here. So I know Jeff would definitely have Kieran in his thank you speech, you know, when he's receiving his award. So I want to make sure I show him that love and give him his flowers, too.
All right, thank you, Coach.
All right, thank y'all.